Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever Ringin' It podcast. It was going to be the Wingin' It podcast, but guess what? There's a West Wing podcast with that name, so
that needs a podcast.
yeah, I guess you can have a podcast for anything now. So
You know what there isn't a podcast for yet? Premature ejaculation. It's coming quickly.
It probably is coming quickly. God damn it. But so we have the Ringin' It podcast, because this is as I trip over my words, this is a wrestling and sports show. I'm sure we'll probably mix in some music topics or something at some point. It's more of a rambling podcast, but I'm sure that was taken too. Ringin' It wasn't taken, and this was literally just us winging it and deciding to do a podcast. So,
and we talk about things that are in a ring.
We do talk about things that are in the ring. We're going to be talking...
Tom Brady going for his 6th ring.
Yeah, we might talk about Brady. We might talk about
throw
Brady.
that in there.
Yeah. Joining me today, my co-host today, probably the co-host for next week's episode too, though I do plan on getting some guests and having some guest co-hosts to join us. This is StanTheMan, host of the Bruins Recap Show. Gonna give you the little rub there.
Oh, I love it.
Give you the little rub. He hosts his own Bruins Recap Show. Obviously, Boston Bruins hockey team. So for those who don't know what the Bruins are, or didn't want to use Google,
or thought I was talking about UCLA football or something silly.
Yeah, or something silly. So as you can hear in the background, I decided to go with Set It Off, Benjamin and Gable's theme. I love this theme so much. Too bad their team lacks charisma.
They are among the best workers, though.
Oh, they're great. They're great fucking they're great workers, and I can't wait for them to be heel tag team champions. But we're gonna go ahead and.
I just can't wait for that 2 out of 3 falls between the two of them as part of my 8-hour Royal Rumble.
I heard it was gonna be 9 hours, or maybe 10. They might just do a 24-hour stream. So I mean, you know, they'll just be picking 2 guys from the crowd. Okay, you guys come in and fight. It still could be more entertaining than Enzo.
Oof.
Yeah, that's gonna be our first topic, actually, guys. As I fade out the music here, our first topic is is going to be the big news coming out of WWE involving this man, whose theme I'm playing now, Mr. Enzo Amore. And that's all the airtime you get, buddy. Alrighty. So, the big news obviously coming out of WWE this week. Enzo Amore, first off, suspended. Second off, getting fired the day after, due to sexual misconduct / rape allegations, against said Enzo Amore.
Now, we should clarify, though, the reason he did get fired, not just for the allegations themselves, but for not telling anyone, like, hey, I'm under investigation.
Yeah. So the way I like to explain it to people who ask me why did Enzo get fired, I said he got fired for being Enzo. So basically for being a dumbass, he got fired. When normally, you know, when you sign a contract, you'd like to at least read a little bit of it, and in that contract there is a code of conduct, if you will, or Dusty Rhodes, if you will.
Don't get me started. I'll start doing it.
I know you will. So I won't get you started, but there's a code of conduct, and he's supposed to let, and this goes for any superstar, if you're under investigation, you're supposed to let your company know that, hey, these allegations, like, because he denies the allegations. We know he denies the allegations. There's actually there's evidence showing that he didn't do this, but that's for later on.
I've for a judge to decide.
That's for a judge. Yeah.
I'm not here to be judge, jury,
Yeah.
and executioner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's for a judge to decide and all that, for the police to decide. But he didn't tell the WWE. Didn't say, hey, I deny these allegations, but just to let you know, police are investigating me. He didn't do that. That's why he got fired. This wasn't a fact of a company firing someone, that was innocent before proven guilty. It was
stupidity.
It was just stupidity. This was you're fired for being a dumbass, and this is the last straw. You've been kicked out of the locker room. You've been kicked off tour buses. Now you didn't tell us that you had serious accusations against you. You're 3 strikes. You're out, buddy. You're out, and it's a shame. And I know a lot of marks are happy that he's gone because they believed he can't wrestle, yada yada. But it is a shame because he knew how to get a crowd to pop, and he knew how to generate heat, and it wasn't X-Pac heat. It was legitimate heat. So he had all the talent to be a manager, and you know what? Honestly, for me at least, as a wrestling fan of good God since like 2000 now, so 18 years of being a wrestling fan. Sure, I love like we'll get to talking about this later, but because I don't know if you saw 205 Live this week, but the match between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali tore the house down. I loved every second of it. Was an amazing match. I love technical matches. I love high-flying matches, stuff like that. But for me, it doesn't matter if you can work, per se. I mean, obviously you have to work a little bit, which Enzo was able to do. But I prefer a good storyline or a good character over.
And if there's anything Enzo could do, is be a character.
Oh yeah, he was a hell of a character. That's this whole thing. I loved Enzo and Cass when they were in NXT. I loved them when they got called up and still didn't win any belts. Hell, a lot of people crap on the Cass Big Show match with Enzo in a shark cage because it was very Vince Russo ridiculous. But
that was a sight I didn't need to see. It's Enzo Amore in his underwear.
Yeah, but it was to me it was still kind of entertaining because I liked the fact that when Enzo dropped down, he just got kicked straight in the fucking face right away. It was funny, and we are doing this live on Twitch, guys. So hopefully we get some more viewers in here. We have Sean in the chat right now, who does say he prefers a guy that isn't a piece of shit. And yes,
understandable.
Understandable.
Completely understandable.
Because even without these allegations, he is a piece of shit. But, I don't know the guy personally, so I can't make a judgment of character. But from what he portrays via Snapchat, via all the TMZ bullshit and all that, all the kicking off tour buses and all that, he seems like a real, at least the Enzo from the last 2 years seems like a real piece of shit. Like, did you watch Breaking Ground?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it seemed like after he got the call up, he turned into this piece of shit. It seemed like before that, it seemed like he was humble. It was like it's like all of a sudden he went from not living the gimmick to living the gimmick when he got into the main roster. If that makes sense.
That's one thing you can't be. You can't be a mark for yourself.
Yeah, he got cocky, and once you get cocky like that, you get blinders on. You see everything through blurred vision because I'm the greatest person ever. I think I'm phenomenal. It's okay that these guys don't like me. It's okay that they kicked me off a tour bus, because I'm the greatest here. I'm the greatest who ever lived.
I
And
get the most heat. I got the best skill on the microphone.
yeah, I got the merch sales. They are never gonna fire me. I can do whatever the hell I want. Bro,
Yeah.
bro.
No.
So what are you signing with TNA? Like, you got fired, dude. Honestly, I hope it humbled him a little bit. But as I said earlier, if he did do the allegations that are put against him, he'll be humbled. He'll be humbled, all right. He'll be humbled in jail.
As it stands right now, he's very unlikely to get any booking from any promotion anywhere. Might not even have it happen if he's proven in a court of law to be not guilty.
Oh yeah, no, he's not getting any indie bookings right now.
He will be wrestling cancer.
Oh, exactly. Unless he completely does a 180 and changes his attitude, this is obviously if he's proven to be innocent. If he doesn't change his attitude, he's still not going to get bookings. No one, as you said, wrestling cancer. No one's going to want him. No one's going to want him on their roster. I mean, a company that's really desperate, like Impact, might, but because TNA will literally sign anyone.
I don't think TNA's that desperate. They can't be that desperate.
I think they are. I think they could be that desperate. But you know what? It's okay though. It's okay. We forgive you, TNA. Not really. I still love how TNA has been it's something that you didn't realize until I told you the other day, but it's still amazing that TNA has lasted longer than WCW ever did.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, that's another point. Yeah, Rich Swann. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, why didn't Rich Swann get fired?" and all that. Well,
didn't he?
No, he's just suspended. He's just suspended right now. Rich Swann didn't get fired because he at least alerted WWE, "Hey, I got thrown into jail last night for allegedly because nothing's been proven yet.
Or something?
Yeah, allegedly assaulting his girlfriend because nothing's been proven in the court of law yet. But it's like, no, he didn't get released yet. They never released him. I'm gonna Google that real quick, Sean, but I don't think I don't think they released him. Yeah, he's still on the WWE page. Yeah. Yeah, he's still on the Superstars page and all that. They haven't released him yet. They just suspended him. Which is crazy. But essentially it's Triple H and Stephanie said in a conference call a couple weeks ago that if he's found to be guilty, he will be released right on the spot. But if not, he will be allowed back to work right away. Obviously, none of us know what happened in that car.
Nope.
Or whatnot. So it's another one of those alleged cases. But I'm gonna put it to you this way: there's more evidence against Swan than there is Enzo. So, like.
Well, in both cases, I refer to kind of like my mantra when it comes to that topic. I will fully support and believe the victim, but I also believe in you are innocent until proven guilty.
Yes. Like, that's the thing. I will never deny I will never deny someone who's claiming that something happened. I will never deny that, because that's one of the biggest problems with law enforcement today. Not really law enforcement, but just like the world today is. A lot of people think that the victim's always crying wolf. And there's cases where it is true. They are crying wolf and they want money. They want the attention and all that. And honestly, that happens. And when that does happen, I believe that the victims, male, female, trans, whatever, the victims who claim that, who were just trying to get a paycheck, should, face the same penalty as what they say that the person did. They should, say like this woman, who's claiming about Enzo sexually assaulting her, say she is found by a judge and all that to have been completely lying, just trying to extort money and all that. I feel like she should go to jail for the same amount of time that Enzo would have. Because that would stop the crying wolf.
That might be a little harsh.
Well, that would definitely stop the crying wolf. Because there's too many cases in this country of women, men, and everyone just who say it, and people don't believe them, but they're telling the truth. And it's because of the famous cases that are those famous cases that she was just trying to extort money, he was just trying to extort money, and that's why people don't believe it. But I mean, you got to find some sort of way to stop the crying wolf, so that the people who actually have gone through this pain, who have actually gone through this suffering, they can get their justice without, they could be believed.
Right.
It's a tough topic, but
it's a very tough topic.
Because there's no right or wrong on how to punish the liars, but there's definitely a right way to punish the people who have done the sexual assault and the sexual misconduct and all that. There's a right way for that, with the jail time and honestly jail time and rehab. Obviously, give them some sort of mental rehab while they're in jail, because they need to be in jail. That's plain and simple. I've heard some people say that they only need rehab. No, they need to think about what they've done for a little bit. They need to go to the bad boy corner and think about what they've done. They need to go away.
Unfortunately, if you in that position, somebody who's committed that crime, proven guilty of it, and is going to jail for it, they don't last long.
Oh no, they don't last long. No, they don't. It's one of the things, you touch a woman or a child, you're dead.
For that guy with the U.S. gymnastics, you won't hear from him.
Oh no,
he's not gonna make it very far.
No, he's he had the double whammy, women and children. So he's doubly fucked. It's just insane. For me, the thought of sexual assault, I don't understand how someone could do that.
Nope, not a clue.
I just don't understand that, which makes me think, I know, Sean, you say there's no rehab for predators, but it makes me think, there's gotta be something wrong. There's gotta be something wrong there that, is making them think, hey, this is okay. But it's not okay, so...
It's not okay.
Well, yeah, Sean, that's what I'm saying. He's got a double whammy. Women and kids. He touched adults and he touched kids. He's screwed. He's probably literally screwed. But we're not going to get into that jail topic, but yeah, he's, it sickens me when that happens. I I don't understand it. I don't think. I just don't understand it. But they'll get what I'm a firm believer in karma. 100% that they will get what's coming to them if they did what they did. Which obviously, like with the U.S. gymnastics coach, he did what he did, so he's going to get what's coming to him. But yeah, it's just a whole shitty situation. But anyways, on that happy note, let's let's move on. Let's move on.
This is like a topic kind of. I don't know if you'd word it as be like beyond our grasp. Like I'm not as well versed into that issue.
Yeah, it's like we're a wrestling slash sports slash whatever the hell we want podcast, but neither you nor I have the. I mean, we obviously have common sense about it,
Right.
but we don't have like the years of studying psychology
Victimology
and
and
victimology
all the other ologies that you can think of.
even Scientology. But yeah, no, we don't have the credentials there. So, I mean, I could be talking on my ass, but I don't think I am. Yeah. Okay, Sean. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know about the MSU. I was talking about the. Yeah, I'm sure you hear about it all the time. The MSU. Was that the same? Did he do it at MSU? Was that the same? Was that the same coach or whatever? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, but apparently this guy.
Loop on that one.
Yeah, apparently this guy did this shit for 30 years at MSU. Which is fucking insane. It's the same thing? Okay. So apparently the gymnastics coach did it for 30 years at MSU too, all this sexual assault. That's how the fuck do you do this shit for 30 years and do this shit for 30 years and not get caught until now. That blows my mind. But yeah, damn, Sean, that's fucking insane. So let's move on to a happier topic. Did you watch 205 live?
I did not. I am like very very bad with keeping up on things that are not like Raw, SmackDown at the moment.
Okay. Well, as I said, you should probably watch, if for anything but the last match of the night last night, Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander in a potential match of the year candidate for 2018.
Can I just say how much of a fan I am of Cedric Alexander? First of all.
Oh, so am I. I love Mustafa Ali too, but I find him a little boring. But his in-ring ability is great. I love his in-ring ability.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually because the only reason I watched 205 Live last night was because after mixed match challenge. Say that
3 times
yeah,
fast.
Exactly. Daniel Bryan was going to be on 205 Live to announce about Enzo and all that. So I watched it. He announced that they stripped him, obviously. I mean, they aren't going to let him take the belt with him to jail if he goes there. But he's going to defend against some heavyweights. But apparently now they're going to have a 205 Live general manager next week.
Really?
Yep. They're going to have a 205 Live general manager. And I am banking on it to be Gregory Helms.
Actually, that wouldn't be too bad.
I honestly think it'll be
General Manager Hurricane.
Yeah, General Manager Hurricane Holmes. Yeah, because I think he'll be the Hurricane as the GM, because that would just piss off Drew Gulak. so, so they would have a feud right away between Hurricane and Gulak.
Gulak, you wanna match for the Cruiserweight Championship? What's up with that?
Yeah, exactly. It would just honestly piss him off so much, and I just can see the storyline build. It also makes me think that Helms will be in the Rumble. I mean, obviously, there's no dirt sheets on this.
Actually, as far as the men's Royal Rumble, there's really not much that's being said about it.
That's because they're gonna have Roman win again.
I mean, I don't mind it because I like all the attention being placed on the first ever women's Royal Rumble, and like I am so stoked for that.
Oh, I'm stoked for that too. But I think
Like,
Helms
all the potential names.
Yeah. Oh, because I counted, and thanks to Paige, they had to add one more name in there. Sorry, Paige. Love ya, but it's okay that you got hurt.
Tough career for her.
It's been a tough career. She's not retired yet, but I think she will be probably soon. Like, they haven't announced it yet. WWE won't let her compete with the injury she has, but
Right.
I mean, she's obviously planning to try to give it another go. I just hope she doesn't try to pull like a Daniel Bryan and leave and hurt herself more.
Yeah, I don't want to see her get worse than what the circumstances currently out.
Because she has mic skills. She can be a manager. And we haven't had a female manager besides like Lana in a long time.
Yeah, it's like at least to like sensational Sherry, like
Yeah.
Sherry Martel.
Yeah. So, I mean, if she decides to stay with WWE and, be manager, that would be great. I mean, seriously though, over the last year, she's given The Rock for that movie that she's gonna be that they're making of her. Gave him a lot of material to throw into that movie. So hopefully they don't throw in some of the material that was, we won't talk about that material. But hopefully they throw in the injury and all that. Make the movie a little more interesting.
Don't want to get it X-rated like your boy Xavier Woods.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so if you see in the chat here, don't feed the dog Miracle Grow, and then you get his dog. He's got what is your dog again? He's a puppy and he's like 60 pounds.
That's a big ass puppy.
It's a big ass puppy. I think it's a Mastiff. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
I think it's a Mastiff. I don't know.
Yeah, those are big dogs.
We're gonna find out because Sean will reply in chat here.
I think there's a little slight time delay between us.
Oh yeah. There's always gonna be a delay on Twitch of about 5-10 seconds. So we'll find out. 4-month-old pit bull.
Oh.
So I don't know how much he actually weighs, but I think he's like getting huge. So
That's a big pit.
He's a big pit. Cute fucking dog though. I saw a picture of him. He's fucking cute as fuck.
Love pits.
Oh yeah. One of my friends just got a pit actually. Pit bull puppy. I'm playing poker at his place, and his fiance comes out with fucking puppy in her arms. Fucking pit bull puppy. I'm like, okay, I fold. Come here.
I'm out.
I fold my pocket aces. Come here, puppy. Yeah. Okay.
Pocket aces. What are you doing, dog?
Dog. The dog wins. The dog can play my hand.
I'll go.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, Sean's 60 pounds, 4-month-old pit bull at 60 pounds. That's a big boy.
Wow.
That's a big boy.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, that's a big one. So yeah, okay, so back on topic. Besides rambling here about pit bulls and how nice they are, and we're not gonna get on that topic of
So as far as the women's Royal Rumble goes, how credible do you give the whole Ronda Rousey thing?
99% happening.
Wow.
I'd give
Am
that
I
credibility.
one of the few people that am still like skeptical about her being in the Rumble?
Well, I know she's signed with WWE, so it wouldn't surprise me if she's not. Like the original poster that they released had Ronda in it,
Okay.
so like either they decided to pull her and try to make it like a surprise, or they felt like she wasn't ready to be in the ring yet. You know, like maybe they thought she'd actually murder somebody. Uh, Maybe her fake punches weren't quite up to snuff. Oh, I could see it now. Just her knocking out somebody. Just if Paige didn't get injured, Paige would be in the ring with Ronda, and Ronda would just kill her. Um, like, okay, so we're gonna do a side headlock. Oh, broke her neck. Uh,
Whoops.
whoopsie. Uh, Sean says, I see her at least being in it. Whether she wins or not is another story. Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's going to win.
I still think Asuka winning is a very, very big, heavy favorite.
To me, okay, so for me, the top, the top three favorites to win it, for me, probably going to be Asuka, Sasha Banks, or Nikki Bella. And that sucks for me to say because I don't want Nikki Bella to win.
Nope.
But
No.
I could see just because of her popularity outside of WWE,
Her brand.
her brand, and
her husband.
her husband to be is that Vince will just be like,
Isn't that what we've been saying about Nikki Bella's career for like the last couple of years now? Anyway.
yeah, but you know, at least like I'll give her credit. I'll give her credit. I feel like she busted her ass.
She's gotten a hell of a lot better.
Yeah,
she's gotten so much better.
She's gotten a hell of a lot better. She's busted her ass. I'll give her that credit. But
and she came back from a very nasty neck injury herself.
Yes, came back from that neck injury. Changed her finisher. You know, figured out a safer way to work. Which for her, I don't know how you could have gotten any safer. But I mean, she somehow found a way to work safer.
We got a prediction for Bailey in the chat. I just noticed that.
We do have a prediction for Bailey. Bailey's like my number 4 on the list.
As far as Bailey goes, like I see her, and it has to be this way because it fits how they use Bailey nowadays. She's got to be the number 1. She's coming in number 1.
Yeah,
and she'll probably be like among the last 5.
Here's how I would book the Rumble, right? You have to have 1 and 2 either like that. Actually, okay. There's 3 options for 1 or 2, for 1 and 2, right? In my mind at least, you have Bailey and Sasha starting it off. You have Bailey, as you said, Bailey come out as number 1, and then you have Lita come out. So she's facing that childhood idol.
And then she does like the whole thing, like geeking out.
Yeah. So like she, oh my god, and it's Lita. Or you go completely fucking nostalgic, and because these 2 women fucking earned the right to be number 1 and 2 in the first ever Rumble, you have Trish and Lita come out. You might waste two surprise entrances as 1 and 2.
But what a way to set off the Rumble. What a way to set off the whole show.
Those two really started the women's revolution, evolution, Divas evolution, whatever the fuck they're calling it now.
And that would blow the roof off the place.
That would start it off hot. That you have like started off Trish and Lita. I can hear the Marks and the Smarks complaining now. Oh, why do they get? Why they're not even active? Why are they starting it off? Well, they're not gonna win it. So let them have a moment.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's a big fucking deal.
It is really it would be a big deal. It would get national attention right away. Trish and Lita, number 1 and 2. And not only that, the rumor going around is Trish is because originally that match that Mickie James had in NXT, who the fuck did she face again? Asuka?
Yes.
In NXT? Okay, that was supposed to be Trish. It was supposed to be Trish versus Asuka, but then Trish found out she was pregnant. So she was getting ready for a comeback like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the rumor is that Trish wants one more good run with the women that are here now, which I would be completely okay with, because you don't see too many women vets coming back. You see Shelton Benjamin at 40 coming back and working.
He looks incredible.
Who's in incredible shape. He's always in incredible shape. But you got Goldberg coming back for a run at 50 or whatever. Like, you never see women. You never see the women wrestlers besides Mickie James, which honestly I love Mickie James's run right now because it still makes her look credible, but she hasn't been the champion. So
still one of the greatest comments I've heard. Calling Alexa Bliss biscuit butt.
Yeah.
Which turned around to Alexa Bliss in the middle of a promo backstage skit I like my butt.
Yeah.
I was all I could think of was and so does 100,000 other fanboys.
Yes. I'm just gonna Daniel Bryan it for a second. Comment in the chat. Trish looks great for just having her second baby. Yes, she does. She looks fantastic. She actually looks. Because obviously, going back to the Women's Rumble, there are 18 confirmed, which is basically the whole women's roster on Raw and SmackDown.
Minus Paige, because she's no longer in it.
Nope, would have been 19 with Paige. So it's 18 without Paige. So there is 12 spots for surprises / NXT women.
Call-ups.
Now, I don't think they're gonna.
Who's the favorite for an NXT call-up?
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
Yep. Good call. Iconic.
So I fully expect one of them to be in it, if not both.
I could see Nikki Cross coming up.
Because Nikki Cross and Sandy are supposed to be coming up for WrestleMania season anyways, I believe. So I could see Nikki in the match. Nikki Bella and Brie Bella have not been confirmed yet, but come on.
One of them will be. I know, according to, as scripted as it is, Total Bellas or Total Divas or whatever, whichever variation it is, she's working towards potentially a comeback.
Yeah.
After having her child.
Yeah. Brie wanted to be a working mother, so more power to her.
Yeah.
I will allow that. I have automod on, so it kind of it asked me if this comment by Sean was okay. The crazy bitch that hangs with Eric Young. Yes, the crazy bitch that hangs with Eric Young.
Yes.
Nikki Cross. But I do love that gimmick. She's just a fucking nut job.
I mean, it's a long shot for me, but one of the people I would love to see in it from NXT, I always forget what her NXT name is.
Dakota Kai.
No.
I would love to see Dakota Kai because I'm an EV mark, but
Well, I know both you and I are Crown and Court marks, so Princess Kimberly would be
yes,
an awesome choice.
Abby Lath, I think her name is
Yeah, now that you mention
in
it,
NXT. Yeah,
I just call her Princess Kimberly.
it's a better name than Abby Lath. Uh, but
Biff
I,
Busick was a better name than Orny frickin' Lorkin.
don't get me started on that. That's I did they just like do a random name generator? Like they're just like you're stuck.
I love Biff Busick. I've been a fan of his for a while. One of the coolest dudes I've ever got to talk to.
Yeah. Freaking it's hilarious now. Not to get off topic of the women's Royal Rumble, but putting on Impact and watching like 3 or 4 guys that I've had. Well, I mean, I haven't had a conversation with Dick Justice, but guys that I've seen wrestle that were
Little known fact about Dick's Justice. Up in Maine, he's teaming up with a buddy of mine, Troy Nelson, in the tag team known as Whiskey Dick.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
I love Dick Justice though, which pisses me off. It pisses me off when people shit on him, but he's
oh no, I think he's hilarious.
he's hilarious. He's not supposed to be a fucking
That's his
acrobat.
thing. It's like I get it if you don't like comedy wrestling, but you gotta have some comedy. You gotta have like all different styles
Yeah,
of wrestling.
yeah, you gotta have it. But not to it's just hilarious seeing you turn on TNA, you see Dick Justice, who I've seen wrestle many times in upstate, and you see Braxton Sutter, aka Pepper Parks, who I've seen, who's a local guy who I've seen many times.
LAX is technically EYFBO.
Right? Yeah. There's just so many local guys. There's another one that I'm forgetting who used to wrestle in upstate that is in TNA now, and I'll probably remember him or her later. But I think Cherry Bomb wrestled in, Alley. I think she wrestled for a little bit. I mean, it would make sense because Pepper Parks and her are a legitimate couple. But I think she only wrestled like once or twice.
I think since we're bringing this up, we should probably go a little bit into kind of just the influx of talent from the East Coast that's been just flooding the market lately.
Yeah, especially I know for you at least, War Machine.
Wow, Warbeard Hanson, he'll always be Handsome Johnny to me.
Yeah, exactly, and
Donovan Dijak came up.
Yep. You got Mr. Because I'll never forget it. 2000, like mid 2000s. I'm watching as a heel, Big in Japan, Bobby Fish wrestle for NWA Upstate, and he's getting zero crowd reaction, and
Just shame.
it's such a shame because people who obviously were there and all that later on seeing this now, it's like fuck. Like how did we give that guy no crowd reaction? Like, because he was killing it then too, but it was.
I will say though, it's so weird to be like, I saw like one of your first matches. Now you're going to Florida.
No, exactly.
Like that was the case for Sasha Banks. Like,
yeah.
I felt so happy for her. I was actually very upset with myself that I missed the show where they announced that she was going to NXT. And I didn't get a chance to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But I I got both Dijak and Hansen's last, well, chaotic match.
Yeah. I didn't get to see Brody Lee's send off. Of course, Brody Lee actually, like lives where I live, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes away from me. Uh, you know, he's a Western New York boy. Of course, talking about Luke Harper. For those who don't know, that Brody Lee's Luke Harper. If you don't know that, welcome to 2018. Uh, Brody Lee is Luke Harper, and Biff Busick is Oni Larkin. Um, like,
What a stupid freaking name. Like, as dumb as Biff Busick was, Oni Larkin is terrible.
I know it is. It's so horrible, but but yeah, it's just funny seeing. It's like going. I remember when his theme was literally uh, a remix of New Kids on the Block, The Right Stuff, mixed with Michael Jackson's PYT. So his theme music was like the opening to The Right Stuff, and then it would fade into I Wanna Love You, PYT. Like,
That's just a great fucking theme.
and of course he was a face, because you can't be a heel of that.
No, absolutely not.
You can't be a fucking heel with fucking PYT and The Right Stuff. But, I mean, that's the whole thing. His gimmick was The Right Stuff, Brody Lee. And he would feud with this guy who called himself Wonder Man. I don't remember his name, but I remember he dressed up like Superwoman. Like Superwoman.
I was gonna say, it was like, oh, was he the German? Did he wrestle in WCW? Is das Wonder Kid?
No. This was much more disturbing. But it's like, I remember when Brody was feuding with Danny Doring over the heavyweight championship.
The dastardly one.
Danny Doring's, Danny Doring is an awesome fucking dude. Like, there is literally, if I could ever find it, I'll post it on this channel here. There is literal video footage of my father and I, when I was probably 14 years old or so, in the Danny Doring section. Like, there was a section for Danny Doring fans, and when he won the belt, like, we were all surrounded him, and yeah! Fucking Danny Doring! And then, like, on one of my really old cell phones that's in here, I have a picture of Danny Doring and the franchise, Shane Douglas, in the ring together, shaking hands with mutual respect. Something that I talked to Shane Douglas that night, and he's like, "Oh shit, man! I don't have an actual good picture of Danny Doring and myself. Send it, please send it to my website." Okay, I will. 2018, never sent that photo to him.
He's probably still waiting for it.
That fucking kid. I'm gonna franchise his ass if I ever run into him again.
I'll take a 180, give you a bad grade.
God damn it. Freaking. I like, see, here, people shit on Shane Douglas a lot because of the way he is with the business, but he was another cool dude. He was respectful and all that. I think he gets a rap for having a bad attitude or something, but like, I don't know. I miss because I haven't gone to an indie show in probably 3 or 4 years.
You're missing out.
Oh, I know, it's gotten so much better. But back when I would go religiously to the shows and all that, And when it was like Danny Doring being world champ there and all that, Brody Lee, and like Cheech and Cloudy, who worked in ROH up in Smoke, are still a part of fucking whatever they're calling it now. They keep changing the name on it. They're still a part of it. Colin Delaney, who I watched before going to WWE and after going to WWE.
And then going back to WWE just to be fed to Braun Strowman.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was. Not only was he fed this,
or was it the Bludgeon Brothers? I forget which one he was.
It was the Bludgeon Brothers. But not only was he fed to the Bludgeon Brothers, but it just so happened that I watched 205 Live the next week. He was on 205 Live.
Good for him.
Yep. Facing Hideo Itami and getting his ass beat. That poor man. Itami, fucking Kenta. God damn it, Kenta, just fucking, the fucking loud ass. I'm like, stop, he's already dead. Just, like, it's just like, please, end this. Don't break his orbital bone, though, please.
Ooh, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, Hideo's new finisher is kind of cool looking, but still can't beat the GTS. What else? My point. But meeting a lot... Yeah, there was a point to bring up old school Colin Delaney and all that. Meeting Colin, because they used to have meet and greets with the wrestlers for free. Like now if you're a famous person, like Colin still comes out.
Most of the time you have to pay for a meet and greet beforehand.
Yeah. But back then, it was like, shit, I met Tommy Dreamer. I met Balls Mahoney, may he rest in peace. He was a fucking awesome dude. Like I met him, this man, I think he had a son, or whatever. His son had 102 temperature, and he still made sure he came out to the show, to work the show, because he wanted the money so that he could take care of his son and all that. But the thing was, he still had a good attitude about it. He probably talked to me for at least fucking 15 minutes, just about like WWE, ECW, and all that, because I was a mark for that ECW One Night Stand and all that, and I can't say it enough. He was respectful. He was awesome. He's a good guy that shouldn't have passed away as young as he did. Honestly, he would have been a good character just to be a manager someplace. Like, right. he actually had mic skills. But like Raven talked to me for 20 minutes.
I've heard Raven's like a legitimately cool dude.
Raven is one of the coolest.
He's one of the smartest people in the business, and nobody gives him credit for it.
Yeah. Raven's one of the smartest guys in the business for sure. Because what I had to do, right, because I had nothing for him to sign, and it is here somewhere. I have a signed TNA Genesis DVD, with Raven's signature on it somewhere in this wonderful complex. But he's like, am I even on this card? And he reads the back. I'm like, yeah, you're facing PJ Polanco. He's like, who the fuck is PJ Polanco? And then he's like, oh yeah, fucking Just Incredible. That match fucking sucked. He's like, and he signed it. Man, that match fucking sucked. I'm like, it was the only DVD they had with you in it. And he's like, figures. Figures is one of my worst it's one of my worst fucking matches.
So
But yeah, you meet a lot of cool dudes.
I'll give you a slightly interesting story. So, was at a show. I think I mentioned it like off air. It's like a big stadium show in Lowell. Um, if you're familiar with it, you know, like Tommaso Ciampa knows a lot of people who work for the promotion that was overall promoting it.
Yeah.
But it was not only was Ciampa there, but he brought a good friend, or was good friend tag team partner Johnny Gargano. So they have like the wrestlers downstairs, like in a little area where you can just like kind of meet them, buy some shit, buy some merch, get some autographs, hang out,
Yeah.
whatever, like before the show. So it's like a bunch of people have lines, like a bunch of people are like just in the middle of shaking hands and talking, and then just like in the middle of everything, like in a table to himself with his head down, you see this poor, like sad-looking image, and it's Johnny Gargano. And I'm just like looking at him, like, and looking at the gimmick set up next to him. I'm like, oh, I get it. I went up to him like, so I take it Tommaso ran off and left you here high and dry. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, Tommaso does that.
I don't know where I am. Yeah, and Tommaso also enjoys putting you through a table. But but I can't wait for that feud to happen. Gargano.
I will add him to one of the nicest people I've met. If I remember right, the former owner of Chaotic Wrestling had regular rules for the rest of the guys in the back, and then proceeded to have a separate set of rules just for Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh my god. Alright.
Your rules, Tommaso, your rules.
Yep. That's awesome, though. That is freaking awesome. Let's see here. We talked about the women's rumble a little bit. Let's talk about. I mean, we touched on the men's, but any thoughts on surprise entrance for the men's rumble, and also who you think is going to win?
As far as going to win, I know everybody's saying Roman Reigns. But do you really need to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble to set up Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar? You don't.
If you're Vince McMahon.
I don't think you do.
If you're Vince McMahon and get off to that shit.
God damn it, it didn't work the last 2 times. I'll make it work.
It's almost like if at first you don't succeed, try again. Maybe he'll go over this time.
It's like you're just running yourself into this Roman Reigns wall. It's at the Royal Rumble every year. It's like, just let him get eliminated.
You can't avoid it. which I mean, honestly, they should kind of be thinking about it too, since Roman has that whole steroid scandal thing going on, that he was named in a steroid list with himself. Who was it? It was Josh Duhamel. God, why is his name? Transformers guy, very famous. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, Josh Duhamel, and Roman Reigns were all named in a steroid by steroid distributors. In like a documentary thing where he was calling from prison or whatever. Yeah, Roman Reigns' name, like, just casually drops names. Of course, it's allegedly and all that, but it would make sense seeing as how Roman's been. I mean, if you ask the elite, FTRR's failed test to Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't know what else it could possibly stand for. But so, FTRR failed test Roman Reigns. I mean, he has failed a drug test before.
He has, yeah.
while working for WWE for I think they said it was Adderall or whatever, but it would make sense that it was steroids, and they're just trying to cover, they had to suspend him for something, so
Right.
why not have it be steroids? Um, but all things considered, like I get where you're coming from. You don't need Roman to win. You literally all you need is Undertaker saying, uh, like like you know, you have you have Undertaker come out and say, okay, I'm gonna have one more match. You two fight at Mania, and I'll see you guys next year to face the winner. Like, I want the gold again. Um,
So, a bit of a mention in the chat that we had a guy who's met Hogan and a couple of his mates.
and King Kong Bundy.
And Bundy. Um, I've had one interaction with Jimmy Hart, and the one interaction I had, it's like he doesn't shut up.
He's Jimmy Hart, baby.
Like he keeps going like a mile a minute. I'm like, this guy is on crack.
We'll have to have that.
Like me and my buddy just want to get a picture with him and like this other guy who's in the ring with him, and he's just like going off. Oh, look at these two, they coming in the ring, new Hart Nation. What the fuck?
Now, if Jimmy Hart failed the test for Adderall, uh,
I'd believe it.
I'd believe it. But yeah, yep, confirmed in chat. He's very chatty. Confirmed. Rumor debunked. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty sweet that the same place you would go to eat is the same place where the wrestlers would be. King Kong Bundy. I do have an autographed figure of King Kong Bundy somewhere.
I
Which
would
is pretty sweet.
I would love to meet and like talk to Lanny Poffo.
Oh, so would I. So would I.
I've heard he has an excellent singing voice.
Yeah. Friggin', I'd be afraid to ask about. Like, I wouldn't be afraid to ask, but like, it can always be a sore subject bringing up Macho
Right.
with him. Like, I don't know if it would be a sore subject, but I would still try it because I'm me. Uh, but I wouldn't be like a dick about it. I'd be like, so how what was Macho like, and all that. Also confirmed in chat, Lanny Poffo is an interesting dude.
Interesting dude.
I mean, he seems to be cool. Like, he's a character that WWE should have used more back in the day, but they.
Hey, he still beat Hulk Hogan. Not many people in the 80s can say they did that.
Correct. As I try to get some icebreakers, Ice Cube spearmint gum, not sponsored. If
Not
this
sponsored.
If this ever gets out to icebreakers, in like 5 years, if this ever goes viral, and we're still doing this, hit us up for a sponsorship.
Why not?
Why the hell not? I'll take free gum. I'll take free water.
Shit, it's free.
It's free. Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't like to talk about wrestling. It's a sour spot for him. I could see why.
Yeah.
Like 100%, I get why.
So, with everything going on with this Rumble, like they have the 2 out of 3 falls match, they have the 2 Royal Rumbles in itself, the tag team match, the 2 title matches.
Mm-hmm.
What is the over/under time-wise for this show?
As I said earlier, I don't remember if it was off air or on air. Probably 24 hours live stream. They'll just start
Like,
pulling random fans into the ring.
like I know, like WrestleMania last year is like it started at 5 o'clock, and it went till 1 in the morning,
And
or at least it felt like it went till 1 in the morning.
it felt like it went till 1 in the morning. It went till like midnight, I think, but still, it's way too fucking much. Um, it's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger as they add more and more. Like
Like I'm
now
all
that
for like having it be bigger and grandiose and everything, but like we're getting to a point where it's like WrestleMania 7 where you have 14 matches for no reason.
like as I said to you
And
earlier,
WrestleMania 7 still kept it under like 3 hours.
yeah. Sean says 4 hours. I mean, that's very possible. Um, but it's starting at 7,
And there's a pre-show.
and there's a pre-show. So
Now, if you were kind of placing matches, what would you start with? Where would you put the men's? Where would you put the women's rumble and all that stuff?
I'm either. It's a tough one. Uh, in my perfect world, just because of how historic it is, I would end with the Rumble, the Women's Rumble. Um, but that's not going to happen. They're always going to end with the men's.
Right.
So that's just a fact. We have to live with it.
And you can't put one rumble like before the other rumble.
No, you can't. It's a double dose.
Just,
So I mean,
because that'll just take away from the gimmick.
like,
I think one has to open the show, one closes.
I was thinking that, but then I'm also thinking like, you could have a triple main event here, or actually a quadruple main event. Like, what I would probably do for the last 4 matches would be Women's Rumble, then AJ versus KO and Sammy, then the triple threat with Brock, and then you end with the men's. Or you could even do this like this. You could do AJ and Sammy, the AJ Sammy KO match, the Women's Rumble, then you do Brock and all that, have some fucking carnage and all that, and then, okay, now we're gonna do the Rumble. Like, you could alternate. I'm kind of leaning with you that they'll probably have the Women's Rumble open the show. I hope they don't, because it'll seem like it's not on par with the men's. Because
They can hype it up as, but yeah, not having it like near the end of the show, like you're not big enough to close the show out.
Exactly. So
No, they could flip it and they could begin with the men's, and that would be historic. Like that means the women Royal Rumble possibly end the show, or they might just be like, if the worst they could do is like, all right, we're gonna have the women's Royal Rumble, and then we're gonna have Brock, Braun, and Kane as the main event.
Yeah, Sean says in the chat here, the World Championship will be at the end. I'm not so confident on that, as our stream seems to be buffering. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that it's spinning a circle on your screen, but
Not on mine.
not on yours. Okay, so it's just mine being
At least
a dick.
not at the moment.
Because I had a huge fucking drop to 620 bit rate for a second. But I mean, what we're talking about and all that, recording wise, it's still gonna go through on OBS. Like, the recording will be fine even if it's not good on here. Sounds fine to Sean, so I mean, I guess we're okay. I digress though. I don't think that they will end the show with the men's triple threat. Just because
it's a weird way to kind of book everything.
it is. because the Rumble always ends the show. A Rumble always ends the show. So
Right.
you gotta think it's either gonna be the women's or it's gonna be the men's, and you can't have them go back to back as you said, because then it's just like Rumble overload. Um, I honestly think the way they'll do it is final four matches will be women's Rumble, AJ, Sami, KO, Brock, Braun, Kane, and then the men's Rumble. Because you know what's really shitty? You've got this long ass show, and yet Alexa Bliss and Charlotte aren't defending their belts.
Right.
Like, I understand you want all of the division to
Be present and account.
to be present. Yeah, to be present and accounted for the women's Rumble, but it makes it seem like you have the two main men's titles being defended. The women are only going to have one match, the women's Rumble. The women should have had at least have Charlotte or Alexa defend. Like, I understand you're trying to save Alexa versus Asuka. I get that. Especially if they're planning on having Asuka go over at the Rumble. But you could have had they still could do this, I guess. You could have like Charlotte come out and not necessarily complain about not being on the show, but wishing she could have been a part of the women's Rumble, and I don't have any competition for tonight, so I'm doing an open challenge for my title. And you could have a surprise, someone come out, like you could have like Nikki Cross. Instead of having Nikki Cross in the Rumble, you could have like Nikki Cross versus Charlotte. Oh my God, it's Nikki Cross has answered her open challenge, and you have Charlotte go over, obviously. It's a good way to make a debuting someone, like the person who has to answer that call is someone you know for sure that you're calling up after the Rumble.
Right.
If you're calling up Peyton Royce after the Rumble, you have her answer that open challenge. And then they put on a hell of a match. Royce loses, sets up future feuds, because I honestly think like Asuka's gonna go over, or someone from the Raw brand.
Yes.
Is going to go over in the women's Rumble. So
that's the way I see it. I see the women's Rumble is going to be dominated by Raw, whereas the men's I lean more towards the SmackDown side.
Yeah. Like, to me, that's kind of common sense, but it's WWE.
But that's also me, like, 100%, like, fully bought in on the WrestleMania AJ Styles Nakamura match.
I still think they might shock us and have the first ever WWE champions, and have Roman fucking win the Rumble, which will piss me off. But I would like to see the WWE champions thing, but it would just piss me off if Roman won the Rumble. But
in Philly again, of all places.
Oh, Philly will riot.
That place is ruthless.
That place, I don't want to go there for a baseball game. I don't want to go there for the Rumble. Like, they get pissed off. Like, for granted, for valid reasons, but not to the point of fucking beating the shit out of somebody.
Can you imagine that, to be a person in Philly and be like, wow, we saw Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, then we saw the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Oh God. I guess this is as good of time as any to talk about sports real quick. So the Jacksonville Jaguars choked, with a little help from the refs, obviously, but they choked on their own too, giving Mr. Brady a shot at what is this, ring 6, ring 7,
6.
6, giving Brady a shot at ring 6. And then Nick Foles just went Super Cena on the Vikings. And
Did not see that coming.
I mean, I
I
thought it
ended
was
up
going to be a. I thought, see, I didn't see that coming either. I thought it would be like 21 to 18. You know, like, because the Vikings were supposed to have, well, they had for the majority of the season, um, a phenomenal defense. And
and
all of a
and at
sudden,
the beginning of that game, they just marched down the field, passed it to Rudolph, easy touchdown. It's like, all right, we got a game, and then just boom, 21-7 at the half. Well, this game's kind of over.
yeah, and it's really, it's helping. It's, yeah, no doubt. Foles had the best game of his career. But it's kind of showing to me at least how, like, because I already knew how bad Tyrod Taylor was, but how extremely bad my Bills need a better quarterback. And, like, I'll take Nick Foles. Because, honestly, what. Okay. Okay, you have Nick Foles. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say he. Because, honestly, right now, if I was a betting man, like, obviously momentum is on the Philadelphia Eagles side. But if I was a betting man, and I hate to say this, I hate to say these words come out of my mouth, I think Brady is getting ring number 6. But let's just say, hypothetically.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah. Let's just say hypothetically here, right? Hypothetically, Nick Foles leads the Eagles to their first ever Super Bowl. Win. Victory. Victory. Um, how do you bench him next season for Carson Wentz?
It's a valid point.
So, what do you do the next year? You can't get rid of the guy. He's under contract for 2 or 3 more years, but um, you know, he's under contract for 2 or 3 more years. But you have the hot. Wentz was having an MVP caliber season for the Eagles, and then that knee injury happened. It's
Right.
uh
Well, one other thought that just popped into my head. So I know you're saying that more likely than not we're gonna get a 6th in the Patriots. Based on everything I've heard, it's very unlikely they'll be 7th.
see. I think Brady will continue playing. Um,
But we'll
but I
have
see it's
he'll
gonna
be
be.
another year older. There'll
Yeah.
be no Josh McDaniels.
Oh no, your dynasty's falling apart, and you could. I'll welcome you to the dark side, buddy, because I have a feeling that Belichick won't be there next year either. And all of a sudden, I'm not saying that Brady's not a good QB or even a great QB, because he is. A lot of people that shit on Brady say he's a horrible quarterback. That it's all scheme. Like, okay, like it is honestly, I would say it's about 60% scheme,
Mm-hmm.
40% of how good Brady is. I feel like if you put Brady on another team without the scheme, I think he would probably still make the playoffs, but he wouldn't make it to the Super Bowl.
You also gotta include like the weapons that he has around them, like Danny Amendola, like just becoming the guy in the playoffs.
Well, you could put a monkey, or you could put literally put freaking Harambe. Harambe could have been a wide receiver for the Patriots and could catch the ball. That's how good. That's how good Belichick is with his scheme. Like, you plug in no names. Like, and I don't mean no names, but like, Brandon Cooks wasn't doing so hot with New Orleans. Comes to New England, is doing phenomenal. Chris Hogan, apparently my Bills couldn't use him anymore, even though I loved him. He goes to New England and he's a freaking Super Bowl hero. He's a playoff hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally can put
Like
anybody.
before this year or last year, do you know who the hell Kyle Van Noy was?
Exactly. No, exactly. Like, it's funny how good, like, and I'm always gonna give the Patriots shit because I truly, like, there's not a there's not a part of me that doesn't believe that the refs don't help them. Because I honestly, like, when you've got announcers in the booth going, I don't know, which is basically code for I'm not gonna blatantly say that call was bullshit because I don't want I don't want Goodell going after me. You know, like
I was not a fan of the pass interference call at the end of the first half.
the one where
Cooks.
the one where the ball was like in the end zone and they were on the outside.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that call.
Yeah, I'm literally.
I didn't understand the call.
Yeah, I'm literally I'm literally watching now, and I turn to my father. I'm like, how the hell is that pass interference? And I guess my father tried to make a point of, oh, you can't touch the guy, past 5 yards. I'm like, okay, but that's not pass interference.
That's holding.
That's holding or illegal contact.
That's completely different penalty, different yardage and everything. It's not a spot foul.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a 10-yard penalty, I think.
If it's holding, I think it's 10 and an automatic first. Legal touching might be a 5 and also the automatic first.
Yeah. But it's not no 38-yard play that it turned out to be, which completely shifts the momentum.
And gives James White the walk-in.
Exactly. It's like, because it's becoming more and more like, I know there are sometimes that fans are like oh, that was a bullshit call. And I mean, obviously I'm a Bills fan, so I'm going to be biased against the Patriots a little bit, but there's a lot of times when fans are just bitching and moaning about the refs that I'm just like, no, they got that call right. But then there's times where it's just like
the Gronkowski hit. That one they got right.
Like the Gronkowski hit was a little something I like to call karma, for what he did to Tre'Davious White. But they got the penalty right. But that shit was karma. But
he got hit. He got hit so hard he thought he was back at WrestleMania. He was looking for mojo.
I know. Dude got up, freaking looking around. He thought he saw Jinder Mahal. He was ready to hit Jinder.
I felt bad because it was like, saw the hit happen, and then they showed him get up, and I'm like, oh, he's done. He's out. Get him off the field. Get him Tom Brady's TB12 concussion juice, whatever.
Yeah.
Put him in a dark room.
Yeah, so before when we were talking about quarterbacks, Sean said he was staying out since he spent so much money on his guy. His guy was actually my guy too. And I still think he could be given the opportunity, I think he could be a good quarterback, if not great. EJ Manuel.
Okay. I liked EJ Manuel.
So, I liked Bills fans crap on him a lot just because they thought he was going to, first of all,
Bills fans also throw dildos on the field.
and put each other through tables. But I digress. EJ
You
Manuel
have
is a
one
guy.
of the weirdest fan bases I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
it's funny because like sites are like starting to make us like America's team, like the Cowboys. Like, oh, we're the most lovable team because we put each other through fucking tables.
And then we have a guy who goes out into like the middle of a crowd and gets ketchup and mustard drowned upon him. I didn't understand that one.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know. Some of our fans are nuts. We'll just put it that way. Um, but yeah, EJ Manuel signed. You know, he's back up for the Raiders. He's back up to Derek Carr. I was actually really excited.
Played a decent game against the Denver Broncos.
No, he did, and like that's the thing. It's funny being in Western New York, being so close to the Bills, because a lot of friends and people I went to high school with are Bills fans, and it's like all of a sudden people have forgotten about EJ Manuel because of Nathan Peterman. Um, so people just like I remember being in a Bills group and like, oh, EJ Manuel's the worst quarterback of all time, and I'm like, no, like he's like the furthest from the worst quarterback of all time, but you know, like he's not even the worst Bills quarterback of all time.
Speaking of the worst quarterback of all time, you're a Mets fan, if I remember right.
Oh yes, yes. Tebow did well in single A and double A last year. And not only that, he's still under contract, so he'll be back this year.
Huh.
So he'll be doing some things. But
I'm sure ESPN will have that as like the big spring training game.
But I mean, there was news a while back, about what's coming for this next season. Not for baseball, but for football. With Vince McMahon losing his ever-loving mind, and he's planning on bringing back the XFL. Damn it!
Break out your "He Hate Me" shirts.
Yes, breaking out your "He Hate Me" shirts. And apparently, the two guys that he wants as like the poster boys of the new XFL or whatever he's gonna call it, the United Football League or something like that. Still hasn't been officially announced, but he filed for all the trademarks, so it's it's just like imminent. He wants his two poster boys to be Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick. Now, two guys who got in trouble for kneeling for two completely different reasons.
It's like on the opposite end of the spectrum between the two.
Like, and I'm just thinking, okay, like, oh, you do you, Vince. If you honestly think that Tim Tebow is gonna play in a league where there's less rules and, I mean, for a chance to be a starting quarterback, possibly. But like I can see Kaepernick playing in it, and obviously, because Vince wants, like it's just like Eric Bischoff. Controversy creates cash.
Yep.
So
just wants that media circus.
He wants that media circus. He wants, and honestly, like Vince's wet dream for that league would be Tim Tebow versus Colin Kaepernick, because you have two guys who, in my opinion, are wrongfully, like both of them should have been on an NFL team.
They're among the more polarizing figures in sports.
Like, I'm a firm believer that the reason why Tim Tebow doesn't have a team is because of his faith. Because of the kneeling and all that. And obviously we know why Kaepernick doesn't have a team because of, guess what? Kneeling. kneeling in his position on African American rights and all that. Which I mean, I agree with his. I agree with peaceful protesting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not a fan of the way that like NFL players were handling it this year. But
I wasn't so much of a fan of like him coming to practice. Didn't he have like come to practice with like pig cop like socks on once
I believe he did.
and got
Um,
massive flack for that?
yeah. The whole like to be real here, the reason why neither Tebow or Kaepernick have jobs are because of the media circus. Because NFL
Right.
teams don't want that media circus. So, I mean, Tebow, it's always gonna be like, why do you gotta kneel to pray to God after every touchdown? And then Kaepernick, why do you gotta kneel to protest during the national anthem? The owners don't want that. Vince McMahon wants that. He thrives off that shit. like,
Oh, absolutely.
like that is Vince to a T. Like he's just like, oh, give me Johnny Manziel too, damn it. Like, Johnny Manziel, who's now in the Canadian Football League, but so we will not be seeing him in the XFL. But it's just like thinking of good quarterbacks who could be great in this league. Like EJ Manuel could go over there. Like I feel like Mike Glennon didn't get a fair shake. Mike Glennon, because I did some research last year when I was watching Jameis Winston, who obviously took over for Glennon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at stats throughout their careers and how their stat lines were. And it's in the same amount of games and all that. They had like almost identical stats. And it's like you're gonna continuously go with Jameis Winston just because he can run. But you have a quarterback who's a pocket passer like Glennon, who has the same exact throwing and completion stats. Like, I understand the need for a semi-mobile QB, but if you look at the teams that are going to the Super Bowls every year, what do they have? They have
The
a
greatest
pocket
quarterback of all time.
Besides that, they have pocket passers. Matt Ryan, not really a scrambler, pocket passer. Tom Brady.
Don't get me started on the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan and the fact that the Eagles, in all fairness, are lucky to get that they got past Atlanta because Atlanta got in their own stupid way.
Yeah.
It was the worst play call I've ever seen at the end of a game.
Oh no, it was horrible. It was fucking horrible. But I mean, because I know you like Matty Ice. But
It is well known. I'm a Boston College guy.
yeah,
So I've watched Matt Ryan's his college and professional career as
Yeah.
much as I could.
yeah. The Eagles are lucky, that's for sure. But back to my point, you got all these pocket passers that are like that go to the Super Bowl every year, and who's winning this? And if they're not a pocket passer, who's winning the Super Bowl? The pocket passer. Like, it's great to have a semi-mobile QB, one that can get out of the pocket if need be. But guys like Tyrod Taylor, it's like if by some miracle the Bills somehow made it to the Super Bowl this year. That's when you play Madden and turn it off, by the way. By some miracle Tyrod got to the Super Bowl, he would have lost. All the Bills fans, all my fellow Bills fans would be, believe. Yeah, I believe we're going to lose. Because he has accuracy issues. He can't throw. What's he going to do? Run the ball each time? you gotta have a play action. You gotta have if you're gonna run the ball with Shady, arguably probably the best running back in the NFL. You're gonna run the ball with Shady. We have a decent enough O line so that Shady can get 5-10 yards when the plays go right. You can't just run it every single fucking time. You need a quarterback that when you do play action, it's believable.
Yeah, that's one of the big successes of the Steelers when they don't get into their own ways.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Big Ben's a great, accurate thrower.
Yeah.
With really good wide receivers, but I have one of the best backs in the league. So you believe, like, oh shit, we got to make sure Le'Veon Bell isn't gonna run up the middle for 5 yards on us. Oh wait, no, it's a play action. Oh shit.
Yeah,
There goes Antonio Brown in the end zone.
No, exactly. And it was funny because that playoff game, right? We still had a shot against the Jags, and Tyrod gets hurt or whatever. I don't know if you watched that playoff game or not.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt, and in comes Peterman, and I'm just wishing at that point because of all the shit that I've seen. Because I saw one of my Facebook friends go, Nate Peterman is the worst quarterback of all time. I'm like, the dude hasn't even played a full NFL game, and you're declaring him the worst quarterback of all time. I'm sorry, you're not a.
Well, yeah, wasn't that like his
fan.
first appearance of the season?
No, he played the game against San Diego.
Okay.
Excuse me. He started the game.
That's a big spot to put him in.
All right, Sean. They benched Tyrod. First mistake, but I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to light a fire under Tyrod's ass. That way, if Peterman sucked, which, I mean, he threw 5 picks within one half. So, yeah, he did kind of suck that day.
We have a nickname for that in New England. It's called Brian Hoyering.
Yeah, oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Another thing that I don't need to be started on. The worst trade in football history. Possibly. You trade the future for Brian Hoyer and a second round pick.
That was Belichick being petty.
What does Jimmy G do? Oh, he just rips off 5 straight wins in a row with the San Francisco 49ers.
Proof again that all you need is a good quarterback. Like, obviously, their quarterback situation was not working. They had the tools at wideout. I mean, someone still has to catch the ball. You need an accurate quarterback, which Jimmy G is a accurate quarterback. Which, by the way, remind me to send Belichick like a thank you note or some flowers or something, because thank God that when Brady retires, we won't have to deal with Jimmy G. Or for that matter, Jacoby Brissett, because both of them could play that Belichick system.
Yep. Just
like Brady, which we were talking about, which is why I said before, Brady is a system QB. You put Brady in another system, he's good. I'm going to give him he's good, but he's not the GOAT. He would not if he didn't have this system, he would not be considered the GOAT. I think even New England fans can agree on that. With this system, I will arguably agree that he's top 1 or 2. But he has to have the Belichick system because that's his scheme, and no one runs that scheme better than Brady. Which I will always give them that. But for those who think it's all Brady, it's not. It's really not all Brady. Because Brady doesn't even you got to look at the offensive line too. towards the end of the season so far, like now Brady's starting to get hit a little bit, but I don't think he was getting sacked too much early on in the season, mid-season.
Not as much. I mean,
Yeah, not as much as.
there's been some argument that in like the last 8 weeks or so, Tom Brady has looked not like himself, and he against Jacksonville in that ferocious front four, he took some hits.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like the last few games that I've watched with New England, because I try to watch whatever games they're on. So like if the Bills are, the Bills play at 1 and Patriots play at 4, I'll watch the Patriots play. Like, but it's completely different now. It's like the games that I saw in the beginning of the year. Oh, he's a lot more protected mid-season. No, he's still protected. Come to the end of the season and watching it, as you said, watching that Jacksonville game, he was just getting clobbered. It's just like that O-line didn't know what the hell to do. Just freaking, oh, look, it's Campbell again. Hi. Like.
Well, the thing is, the offensive line has been an issue for a while. I mean, they've been coached up good, and I think it's Dante Scarnecchian who's the coach for the offensive line. He does a great job.
Okay.
But there is a lack of talent on that offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, there definitely is, but they do, at least at the beginning of the season, they were doing their job decently. Now
Right.
it's.
They're going up against talent.
Exactly. And Brady needs that. He really needs that protection. He's 40 years old. Like, he can't keep taking hit after hit after hit. Eventually, something will hurt him. Like a hand, for instance. But we're not going to talk about Brady's hand because I still think that it was played up a lot more than it needed to be in the first place.
No, it was a cut. It was a little itty bitty cut.
Yeah,
Put a Band-Aid over it, you're fine.
yeah. Media just went,
Ballistic.
All good, Sean. All good. We're just talking about how Brady wouldn't be the GOAT if he didn't have Belichick. And when they both retire, because I don't believe Belichick's done. I think Belichick leaves.
Both of them will eventually want to do something by themselves to be like, it wasn't just because of him. It wasn't just because of him.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And I think Belichick will win that one.
Yeah, Belichick will win that one. Because Belichick, I personally, feelings aside about how I feel about, refs and how Belichick tries to find loopholes, using that term loosely, I do feel like Belichick cheats from time to time. I mean, it's been confirmed in the past that he has cheated before, but all feelings aside for that, he's arguably second greatest coach of all time next to Madden. Like next to Madden and God damn. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? Lombardi.
Yep.
So I think he's top 3. I wouldn't call him the greatest, or at least not yet. Yeah, I agree, Sean. Not just Belichick, but yeah, like honestly, you saw how Brady struggled, how Brady needed a miracle catch from Amendola, without Gronk, in that Jacksonville game. I think Gronk is that's why.
He is a game-changing physical specimen.
He is, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Yes, the defense is terrible. I'm very aware of that. I have no idea who their defensive line is half the time. Their linebackers are piss poor. Thank God we have good cornerbacks and safeties.
Yeah. You're,
Chung, McCourty,
yeah.
Gilmore, and Malcolm Butler.
I never thought I'd say Gilmore is a good quarterback, but first time for everything, right? Bills. You can ask any Bills fans. We hated Gilmore. Then he goes to New England and just tears shit up. Um,
At the beginning of the year, not so much.
well,
Had some massive communication issues.
well, at the beginning of the year, because some Bills fans had joined like Patriots groups just to see just to see what what Patriots fans were saying about Gilmore, and it was like, man, he should have stayed with the fucking Bills. We can't stand this guy. You know, it's hilarious, and then you know when he got hot, oh, it was a good pickup. it's, it's just it shows how fickle fans are.
Mm-hmm.
It's and like my favorite thing is, oh, if you don't like this guy, you're not a true fan. You're not allowed to have your opinion. Like it's just like
I hate that argument.
you you don't. It's like it's hilarious because it's like, oh, like back when they benched Tyrod. Oh, you don't like Tyrod Taylor? You're not a true fan then. Peterman's gonna suck against the Chargers. Which, I mean, he did throw 5 picks. Granted, 3 of them were not his fault. One of them hit off the fullback's hands. The fullback just popped it into the fucking air, and it got picked off. The next one, he had Joey Bosa coming at him full speed in his fucking face. So he was gonna probably get hit and fumble it. So he just
yeah, I'm just gonna throw it away.
Sort of threw it away, and it got picked. I forget what the other one was. It was like some sort of diving interception. Like that wasn't even his fault. I think it hit off a receiver's hands and got tipped and all that. So like, you know, and then 2 of them he was trying to force. 2 of them were his fault. Like he was trying to force him downfield and all that. But with Peterman, because I actually am a Peterman fan. I feel like he could be an NFL quarterback for the future. Like he could be, maybe not in the Bills, but he could be a guy that sits for 2 or 3 years and all of a sudden, boom, here's fucking Peterman. Because when he started off that Chargers game before, like everything was going smooth before that, like play action fullback screen. Because he was moving the ball down. He was moving the ball downfield. He was, you know, the run game was going off. Play action was working great. And then all of a sudden, one little tip pass just fucking switched the momentum. Switched the whole momentum. And
Here's a bit of an interesting question for you. As a Bills fan, since we're rambling on football topics, do you miss having Rex Ryan as a coach?
Fuck no. The Bills don't want a media circus, yet they sign Rex Ryan to be their coach. Make up your mind. The dude, the biggest positive thing I could ever say about Rex Ryan is if he is on your team, he is all in. Because that dude painted his truck in a Buffalo Bills blue with the Buffalo Bill on the side. He was all in. I'm surprised he didn't get a tattoo of like the Buffalo Bill on his left cheek with Mark Sanchez and the butt fumble on the right. Like he was. I mean, he possibly could have. He could have and just not revealed it because he got fired so quickly. But that's the one thing I can respect about him is if he's a coach of a team, he's gonna go all in. I did not like the defense he ran, and that's why, like you could see we added like one or two players. We had basically the same defense this year that we had with Rex Ryan. Yet our defense this year was ranked so much higher than last year's, and actually had, we had the right scheme for the defense. We were calling the right plays, we were calling the right zones, the right man coverage, the right blitzes, and defense is what got us to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a playoff winning defense.
Which Rex Ryan is supposed to be, oh, he's so great for his defense, and where is this majestic? Where was this majestic defense with Buffalo? We took basically the same goddamn players and turned them into superstars. I mean, obviously Tre'Davious White was a rookie corner this year who performed fucking amazing. Should be defensive rookie of the year. I haven't checked that out, but they'll probably give it to Marshawn Lattimore of the Saints.
Probably.
But he played a full season. Marshawn Lattimore didn't. Or, yeah, I think that was correct. And like just
all that gets decided the night before the Super Bowl, if I remember right.
Yeah.
The NFL honors or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah. I don't know. He should probably get it. I mean, both teams went to the playoffs. I mean, I know the playoffs aren't supposed to encourage voters or whatever, but it does. It does. It's not supposed to have any impact for Rookie of the Year, but it's extra games. Of course it's going to have an impact. You don't think the people are watching it? But it's just like, it amazes me. Like, it honestly amazes me that out of the 3 games in the playoffs that Jacksonville played, the Bills' defense held them to the least amount of points. Of 10. Mm-hmm. We couldn't beat the fucking Jaguars, who only put up 10 points. Like, that kind of ticked me off. Because we had a very winnable game. But we couldn't.
Absolutely.
But we couldn't get it done. And then, of course, Bortles played out of his mind the next 2 games. But he was horrible. He was horrible against the Bills.
Yeah.
He was missing throws left and right. He had to literally run for his life. I'm sitting there, when I was watching that game, I was sitting there yelling at the TV, put a fucking QB spy up. Why do you have no one on your defense? For as great as our defense was that game, you don't have a spy, you're letting them run for 20, 30 yards at a time? I'm like, you can't tell that if you're putting everyone into coverage, he's gonna run? Like, just saying, like, probably a good thought to put up a spy. But anyways, back to Peterman. He played another game during the regular season before he came in for Tyrod. But Peterman got hurt that game. It was when Tyrod was hurt during the season. Peterman played, I forget who it was against. I think it was against, man, I forget who it was against. But we wound up having the third string QB come in. Let's put it that way. Josh Johnson, I think his name is. We put in. But he was having a good game. But he decided to take off with the ball, and instead of sliding feet first, he dove head first, and
big mistake.
Concussion protocol, and we won that game. We did win that game. Was it Miami, Sean? I can't remember. I'm gonna actually Google this shit. Nate Peterman. ESPN videos and highlights. Well, he doesn't have many highlights. Not yet, at least. The Colts.
Benny has had a rough life. When his grandmother died, he
of course,
inherited her
this
incontinence.
video plays.
One of his moles tried
he
to have
played the.
Santa only watches him when he's sleeping. But Benny feels like a champion.
He played the Colts.
Because he's eating tasty, protein-powered, wonderful pistachios.
Jim has had a rough life.
So
His daughter's first words were,
Who in their
"This
own
isn't
right
working,
were
Jim."
lousy.
His third
who
wife
in their own
went off with
right
his
were
second
lousy,
wife.
but he started off the
Tornadoes.
game. He started off the game pretty well. I think he went 5 for 10. Yeah, I had to X that out because it noise was getting on my nerves from the video playing. Went 5 for 10. He had a touchdown, but then he dove and fucked that up. But when he first came in that game against Jacksonville with the final seconds, first play he does, he throws a freaking bullet straight to God, I don't even remember who he threw it to. But like right away, he came in with that gunslinger mentality, and I love that in the freaking, especially in a rookie. He comes in there and just starts throwing bullets. And then they called the end of the game, like even ESPN and like Fox and all that said that the Bills got screwed on an interception.
Mm-hmm.
Which was not an interception because the ball hit the ground, but even with replay they didn't overturn it or whatever. So, oh well, spilled milk. There's always next year with a different QB. But he came in there with that gunslinger mentality. The run was starting to work, and I'm starting to think before that quote unquote pick got thrown, I'm starting to think, damn, we actually have a shot to tie this game. And then of course he throws a pick and everyone shits on him for it, but
it really wasn't a pick.
It really wasn't.
It hit the ground.
Exactly, it really wasn't a pick. So I still have faith in Peterman.
Now, if you want to rewrite history a little bit, say the Buffalo Bills beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in that playoff game. That means immediately off to New England go the Bills. What chance would you have given against the Patriots seeing them a third time that season?
Well, if you remember the second time facing the Patriots, we started off hot. We were, momentum was in our favor from the word go. And then when the officials fucked us, which everyone, I think even New England, I saw because somehow there's freaking New England Patriots fans in Western New York. I don't know how that's even possible. But when I'm seeing,
it didn't make much sense.
I'm seeing posts on Facebook and I'm seeing, man, the refs just screwed the Bills with that Calvin Benjamin catch, because it was a catch, and then they go to replay and they overturn it.
Oh yeah, that fucking thing.
Yeah, where the Bills would have had
disaster.
The Bills would have had the lead going into halftime on that game, and that's the whole. Football is a momentum game. 100%. Once you took that away from them, and they go into the second half losing, I mean, they still came out and played hard that third quarter. But once Brady even got a 2-point or 3-point lead, I forget how many points it wasn't that much, obviously. All of a sudden, you saw all the life get sucked out of them. They were just like, well, Patriots have the lead. We ain't coming back from this now. They had, that mentality. I didn't care for that mentality. It was so bad. I think they put Peterman in towards the end of the game. That game. I'm not sure, though. I might be confusing games, because I know Peterman played against the Patriots a titch. But you got to look at it this way. Okay, they've lost 2 games to the Patriots. They're gonna start off hot. They're gonna start off hotter than before. They're gonna come in. They're gonna come in hot. And the best part is, you guys saw Tyrod Taylor the first two games. Tyrod Taylor would not have played that game against New England, because he was murdered that play in Jacksonville. He would have been out for at least 2 weeks. So the next 2 playoff games would have been Peterman. If Peterman advanced to New England and then somehow beat New England, he would have been the championship quarterback too. Because Tyrod was knocked out like Gronk. Tyrod got up thinking Rex Ryan was still his coach. He was looking around, Rex, where's your brother? where are the Ryan brothers? Oh, no longer in the NFL with a job? Makes sense.
Now here's the thing. Um, well, part of this is just me being a fan, and like fan base that I'm from. What odds do you have for Rob Gronkowski playing in the Super Bowl?
I'd give him about a 25% chance, maybe 50, like 25 to 50% chance. He was clocked good. I mean, to be fair, his persona at least not his persona exudes that there's not much up there anyways.
Right.
So I mean, he could come back and play because I mean there's not gonna be any mental handicap there or anything. But I think for his safety and all that, I gotta give it as Sean says in the chat, 0%. I'll go with 25% just because I know he wants to play and he wants to be out there.
Right.
But if they're smart about and don't forget they still have another week. They have the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl, so it's at least he has extra time to heal.
Yeah.
But he got clobbered.
He did.
That dude was out. As you said, he was looking around thinking he was at WrestleMania. He was just gone. So
But
I mean,
that is a massive blow to the Patriots. Going from Gronkowski to Dwayne Allen. Dwayne Allen has just not clicked with Brady all year, and if you don't click with Tom Brady, you ain't getting the ball. He won't throw to you.
which is honestly a shame because that just means Allen should have stayed with the Colts because he was doing so well on the Colts with luck and like he was getting the end zone like he was getting all the end zone targets. I mean, I like Dwayne Allen. Actually, one of my friends from the hobby, super collected Dwayne Allen. So, like, he had a whole bunch of Dwayne Allen cards. Sean knows who I'm talking about. I'm really kind of curious to see. He's a super fan of Dwayne Allen, but he was a Jets fan from St. Louis. I don't.
Those are dots that I just can't connect.
I can't connect that, but I mean, good for him. like, good for you. But yeah, I don't know how he feels about Allen being misused on the Patriots, which it's Allen's own fault. He, as you said, he's just not clicking with Brady. I don't know if they need to figure out a different scheme for Allen because he's not a 6'7" Frankenstein. He's not freaking Gronkowski. Like he's a smaller dude.
Right.
No, Sean. Justin. Talking about Justin. But yeah, that's just funny having a Dwayne Allen super collector who's a Jets fan
In St. Louis.
But to each their own. I'm a Pirates fan that lives in Western New York, but I mean, still, at least Pittsburgh's close enough. But my father's a Dolphins fan, which is the weirdest shit ever. But at least he's not a Patriots fan. I'll go with that. But because it already gets bad on Sundays when the Dolphins play the Bills. I would not want to see what he would be like as a Patriots fan.
Ooh.
I'd be afraid that I'd go through a table maybe. But yeah, and like Sean's a Bills fan from Michigan, so I mean, I mean, obviously people are gonna have their, their teams that they cheer for. Like when I first got into hockey, I don't really have a team right now, but I was sort of doing the whole because I really like the way they play. I like the way the Blue Jackets played when they were in the playoffs.
Oh, you mean you're not a Sabres fan?
I have no team. I have no obligation. If the Sabres,
One of the best players with the bottom of the barrel team.
Yep, pretty much.
But if you're a fan of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I like how they play, I am a huge fan of their coach, not because of his coaching style, but just because of all the shenanigans he comes up with. Johnny Tortorella.
Mm.
John Tortorella, the only person I know who will have a press conference set up, just come out, I'm not answering any questions, and walk off stage.
See, now that makes me wanna follow the Blue Jackets again. That's awesome.
If you get a chance, and I highly recommend it, just go on YouTube and look up John Tortorella. It is some of the funniest things.
I think I will after I'm done streaming. I'll go look that up. But yeah, that's that's almost as good as Marshawn Lynch.
It's one of the reasons I have to do every time the Blue Jackets play the Bruins, I have to do something for it, because it's I have to do something because it's John Tortorella, and John Tortorella is gonna do something that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
The other one is with the Washington Capitals. Scarface Guy Boucher.
Okay.
Who is so animated behind the bench. He's like a little wind-up toy. Something will go not his way, and you just see him bug-eyed, hands out, throwing a fit, and you just I can't help but laugh at you.
That's awesome. No, that's. See, I like animated coaches that are named.
It's like you look like a cartoon villain.
That's gold.
I'm expecting we have Guy Boucher mic'd up for this segment. Curse you, He-Man!
Oh my God! Now I have to look up him too. The only time I really watch hockey, I will watch it religiously during the Olympics, which are coming up, which I'm so excited for my curling. It's about the only time I get to watch curling. I fucking love it. It's the most Canadian thing you can have.
It is the most Canadian thing.
Actually, no. I was watching a video on Facebook or whatever. They combined curling with another Canadian game and made a mega Canadian game, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like they combined curling. They did a curling ring where they had a hole cut out in the middle, and the goal was to get the curling rock into the hole to land perfect, and then there was points for how close you got. It was I'm like, what am I watching? This is glorious.
and then you wrestled you had to go last 5 minutes in the dungeon.
Right.
The most Canadian thing ever.
It was, the ghost of Stu Hart just whipped your ass for 5 minutes. Hey, I won. What? I won. What did I win, eh? Here's some maple syrup. Oh, sweet.
What did I win? A pint of Molson.
Aw, fuck. So Sean says he's a lifelong Detroit Red Wings guy. Respect there.
Can't blame you for that.
Respect there. And
eventually
also,
they'll make their way back into the playoffs, and they had a 12-year run.
Yeah.
I think that's good enough.
And also fucking curling. Hey, like to me, like some of my favorite Olympic sports.
Flies procreate.
Like
Curling is to the Winter Olympics as like skeet shooting is to the Summer Olympics.
right, right.
Which apparently the USA won the gold medal for skeet shooting.
Yes, they
And
did.
nobody talked about it because we were all like so concerned about guns.
Yep. Oh yeah, I watched. I'm a huge Olympics guy. Like, if the Olympics are on, I'm doing fucking picture in picture with another TV next to the TV, recording the other one on the DVR. Like, I'm all in, unless it's like about the only thing I don't watch is like equestrian in the Summer Olympics, because I don't know why, I just don't like horses jumping around. I'm like, okay, cool. Your horse can jump over water. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see it box. Like, and like in the winter, I'm not a figure skating guy. I respect, like, obviously I respect both sports. The talent that it takes to even be on skates for 10 seconds is amazing. But to do half the shit that they do it is amazing. And like, I'll watch a little bit of it, but I'm like, it's not my cup of tea. You know, just not my cup of tea. And then like, that's really the only two sports that I don't watch. Like I know people love Michael Phelps and all that, but I can't get into swimming really either. I don't know what it is. It's like running. Like, yay, they're doing laps. Cool. Like, I don't know. Do you have any sports you just refuse to watch in the winter or summer games? Seems like we might have lost Stan. Might have lost Stan here. Yeah, I believe we might have lost Stan. So actually, you know what? That'll be, because I know we had to wrap this up anyways. That will be a good way. That'll be a good cliffhanger. And I'm gonna use this as a question of the night / leave a reply, and we'll start off with this on the next episode, whenever that may be. Might be tomorrow, might be the next day, might be in a week, might be in a month. It is the Ringin' It podcast. I mean, we do wing it and talk about wrestling and sports. It sounds like we might have Stan back here.
Fucking Comcast.
Hey, fucking Comcast. You know what? So we'll still have this be the question, and we'll still wrap this up. But do you have any winter or summer sports that you just cannot stand to watch?
Besides curling?
Besides curling, I agree. It's not for everyone. I fucking love it. A lot of people are just like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go, for whatever reason, I'm not a fan of speed skating.
I can enjoy speed skating, but it's gotta be like NASCAR for me. One of the guys has to wipe out, for me to be like, yeah. It's just like the one year, like, everyone wiped out and like the guy in last place won. I'm like,
That's the greatest Olympics ever.
It's just like, oh my god, the guy from Uganda won. Like, I don't know where the guy was actually from, but it's like some.
We have a bobsled team.
Right. Freaking
See, that's my most underrated Winter Olympic event.
What,
Like
the
bobsled or
I love it.
toboggan
Oh, I love
or
it.
luge. I love that shit.
Oh, luge came under fire for that one person's death a couple of Olympics ago, but I love it. I freaking love the speed and just freaking, they're just freaking leg flat on the back, controlling where the fuck they're going, just by moving their body. But yeah, so we'll leave it off there. We'll leave that as the comment, the question of the day. Which winter or summer Olympic sports can you just not bear to watch? For me, as I was saying before, it's like I have only like 3 or 4, which is like like swimming, figure skating, equestrian, and like running. Like for me, running, I can't watch like the triathlons or like whatever where it's like freaking they're gonna run for a fucking 100 miles, and it's like cool, 2 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Actually, I think you can say the same with like cross country skiing.
Yeah, okay, I can't stand that either. That might be 5. Yeah, I can't fucking.
Don't get me wrong. I love like alpine. I like slalom.
Oh no, I like skiing.
It looks like you're gonna get your knees like into your jaw.
Yeah, no, and I love like the ramp and doing the freaking tricks off the ramp, and it's just like I don't like swim, like a lot of swimming, but I freaking love diving. Like I love watching diving in the Summer Olympics. It's just like I love watching, snowboarders or skiers or whatnot just hit a ramp and do some crazy, crazy shit in midair and land it. Since this is a wrestling podcast, I guess I do like flippy shit from time to time. Better not tell Cornette that.
Good friend of mine, Travis Flip Gordon.
Makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah. Flip. Oh god. Fucking flippy shit. That'll be the start to the next episode. Fucking flippy shit. Because we're gonna see some flippy shit soon on 205 Live, I'm sure. I mean, Ricochet. Oh, yeah. That's something we'll touch on in the next episode about Ricochet signing, and because we didn't really touch
a little bit on it with War Machine.
Yeah, we touched a little bit on it with War Machine, but I mean, there was Candice LeRae too. I mean, I believe it was confirmed that Ronda Rousey was signed. So I mean, we got some stuff to talk about in the next episode. Be it, as I was saying before, be it tomorrow, be it the next day, be it next week, or hell, it might be WrestleMania season. We're ringing it.
We got WrestleMania on the horizon. We got Super Bowl results, Royal Rumble results, all of the shenanigans.
And next time we might be joined. Might have a third. Might do that 3-man commentary team. Hopefully one of us isn't Saxton. We'll have a 3-man team that will mesh. Have a little guest host in, potentially, because I mean, I do have a few friends in radio who I'm sure are gonna watch this and be like, "Why the fuck wasn't I your co-host?"
Yeah,
because you weren't modding my Twitch.
You weren't readily available.
You weren't again. We're ringing it. It's literally in the name. We're winging it with an R because West Wing podcasts.
Poor literacy is cool.
Yes, without a doubt. So that'll be it for this podcast of 2 hours and 20 minutes or so.
Do we have anything we want to plug before we sign off?
I mean, you can always go and check out. Stan's YouTube show, the Bruins Recap Show. If you're into hockey, if you're not into hockey, I'm sure he'll do some. I mean, just watch it when just watch it when the Blue Jackets play. I'm sure you'll get some entertainment value out of that.
I try to make it as entertaining as possible.
Yeah. I am going to obviously this is going to go up on my YouTube, but if for some reason you stumble across this on Twitch, YouTube name is the same thing. EHWFS Big Don, which is funny. Whenever I sub to a channel or talk in a chat, they're always like, it gifs Big Don. And I never correct them, so I just let them think it's like a gifs. And then one of these days, like when I get off here, I'm gonna probably see who I'm following, that actually like talk to in chat, and send them a host, and just listen to the hilarity of, thank you, it gifs Big Don. Oh yeah, sure, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, one of these days when they like, because I'm hoping to get rated one day, by one, like some of my favorite people, and I'm sure it'll happen one day. And like I'm never going to expect it, but if it does, I'm like, when they come in, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's actually EHWFS, like EHWF's Big Don. Like it's an organization, like it's a wrestling fed that, and I'm Big Don. Like, oh, and then they'll just be like, oh, okay. Also,
Speaking of that, that's a plug. YouTube.com/EHWFCAW, making its triumphant, I don't know if that's the right word, return to YouTube.
just think of it this
And
way, guys.
Twitch.
Yeah, think of it this way, guys. We're relaunching it on Twitch and YouTube. Stan and I have a couple of other ideas in the works. More so when I get a capture card for my PS4. Because Stan and I have talked about this before, about potentially doing a universe mode in addition to the CAW League, like, but the universe mode with just like WWE and WCW guys.
And since I do have a capture card, I have not sponsored Elgato 60 HD.
Yes, I forgot you have a capture card.
I actually might be doing some streaming stuff on Twitch myself.
Oh, that would be nice.
Maybe a couple of games that I really like. Maybe some Fallout 4 set in Boston.
Nice.
Maybe, actually, the one thing I'm really looking forward to doing, if I can find the time to fully do it, is a season mode in either NHL 18 or NHL 17.
Nice.
Where it's a special challenge where either I can't draft anybody under the age of 26, or I can't draft anyone under or over the age of 26.
Well,
along those lines.
Well, see, I sort of did the same thing. Also, in chat, Sean said he might try to get a mic and come on the show, which I would love to have that happen. Would love to have Sean as a guest co-host one of these times. In fact, I don't know why, but I haven't modded Sean yet. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what's different about him from Stan? Oh yeah, he doesn't have a fucking sword next to his name. So, mod up Sean. I've known Sean for, 5 years now, probably. So, I think that alone deserves mods. Plus, he was a mod in my breaking channel, so why not? So I'll plug my YouTube again. HWFS Big Don. You'll find the podcast there, obviously, if you stumble across us on Twitch. But you'll also find me doing pack openings. You'll find me doing pack openings, and you'll find me doing pack openings, because that's all I've put up there. That's literally all. Pack openings and box breaks. This will be the first thing put up there that's not that. So I hope my modest 95 subscribers, at least a couple of them, give this a check out, give it a listen. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't.
And whichever way you're listening to this, by all means, like in the comments or wherever you decide to, make a note. If you have anything you want to have us talk about, leave it in the comments. Maybe we'll pick it up.
Oh yeah, that's one of the main things. I will definitely be looking at comments. 100% looking Sean, I love that, Sean. Out of the three, I wonder if he'll do pack openings. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing some pack openings. In fact, just because I have OBS going right now, I might turn. Actually, I'm just gonna record it with OBS. I don't think I'm gonna actually live stream it. I might. I might live stream it, but I do have some Prism football cards that retail from Target that I'm probably gonna do a video on. Do a little update video for my YouTube since I got really ticked off of YouTube after hitting like just I know we're trying to wrap this up, but real quick, long story short, I hit 10,000 views on my channel at the very beginning of December. Reapplied for monetization, which I was already monetized before, but then they changed the rules to 10,000 views. Hit that milestone. Reapplied. Didn't hear anything from them. Woke up about a week ago, checked Facebook, and then the trending stories it says YouTube changes monetization policy. So I had to look up what that shit was now, and they didn't. I know why they didn't get back to me when it says, oh, we're gonna get back to you in 1 week. That's because they were in the process of changing monetization to now needing 4,000 total hours of people watching your content over the past 12 months, plus 1,000 subscribers, which is completely for a small YouTuber where every penny counts, especially with what I do, because these packs are not cheap. Every penny counts to buy boxes, buy packs, and I was sort of hoping I could get back on that monetization thing, and it just sort of hits you below the belt. And there's actually bigger channels who only upload, like one of my favorite YouTubers, the Game Chasers, might be in trouble because they only upload like, at least over the past year, they've only uploaded like maybe 20 videos total. And it's not total runtime on the video, it's total watch time. So I know their videos get like 20k views sometimes, but they're like 10-minute videos. So, and you're hoping that people aren't clicking off too. So 4,000 hours still, it seems like it's a lot. Like, it seems like it's a lot to accomplish. But yeah, I'll probably upload a video tonight to YouTube. Besides uploading this podcast. But I think that's it. I plugged my YouTube, plugged your YouTube, plugged.
I think we've plugged everything.
Plug your Twitch.
Yeah. So remember what the fuck my username is. StanTheMans44. We're gonna be doing some hockey stuff, some Fallout stuff, maybe. Maybe even some wrestling stuff.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Which, by the way, to your hockey idea, I actually did something similar. Well, not similar, but on Madden 18, because I do a lot of Ultimate Team on Madden, but I do franchise from time to time. And what I like to do in franchise is something that I've watched a channel named Beard Mobox on YouTube. He does amazing videos, amazing content. I'm going to plug him real quick, even though we're probably not going to get that many views on this. Great dude. Lives in the UK. So when he goes to play Madden, like, there's not that big of a field. So he's playing the guys who really want to be playing Madden at like 3 a.m. in the States. So he's playing guys like me. But his idea was a fire sale franchise where you you trade away all the vets, and you got to sign players that have 3 years or less experience in the league. So you do that, and then you take all your draft picks and you build your team via the draft from the next 2 years. So I did that with the Browns. Because the Browns already had a fuck ton of picks. So I'm like, let me just trade away Thomas and and all that, get even more picks. Like I had an amazing draft. I wish I could have streamed it or put it up on YouTube, but yeah. So I'm doing something kind of similar where I'm just rebuilding the Browns through the draft. I'm in the second year and we're 2-0, so it's worked out so far. But
It's better than the Browns.
yeah, it's better than the real Browns.
Real life.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all the plugs. Plugged your Twitch. Plugged everything. Maybe I'm gonna talk to a friend of mine, see if they might wanna sponsor an episode of the podcast in the future. A friend of mine owns a card company actually, which I don't know if he'd do it, but it'd be kind of cool if he did. But I'll give him some publicity, to the whole, like, probably 10 people who watch this, but but I don't know. All right, man. Let me get some. Yeah, Sean. 0-16 really does suck ass. So we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of music going here. We're gonna just here's some Aleister Black coming on in.
And we are coming on out.
Yes, we are. No, that phrasing. That's phrasing. Yeah. So that's the end of our show for this week. This is the Wingin' It with an R, because misspelling things is cool. Ringing It, so podcast. Wrestling and sports. We'll see you guys next week for Stan the Man. This is Big Don. This might be a weekly thing. This might be every other day thing. It might be a monthly thing. So I shouldn't have said next week, but we'll see you in the next episode. Enjoy this Aleister Black fade out, because we are out.